Howdy, my name is Silver Eagle, and I'm here on Ponyville Live. We are here with We Are Borg and Marie from Equestria Plush. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. We have a sample of one of your creations here. You want to tell us a little bit about this?
It's outstanding, to say the least.
Thank you. This is my latest one. It's Princess Luna. I actually just finished her a few days ago before the con. She was quite an adventure to make. I actually really enjoyed it because most of our ponies, as everyone knows, are very pastel. And she's a beautiful, rich color, so it was fun to make her. It was very nice.
Tell me about some of the materials that go into this, because I noticed that it's a really, really soft, you can't really tell from video, but it's a very, very soft fabric right here, but then it actually sort of goes into this stitching down here that is sort of for the special, like the cutie mark in other areas. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. It's made from Minky. It's a 3mm plush Minky. You can get it in different millimeters, but it looks more furry if you get it any longer than that. So I think pretty much most plush makers use this type of Minky. Very, very soft. They actually use it for baby blankets, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Its most popular use is that kind of thing. The down here it's all embroidery, so yeah, it's stitched. It's a machine embroidered. The hoofs are. That's quite a feat.
Yeah.
To do, haha.
To go. A feat.
You have to put those on there because it's not two pieces. It's actually one piece. If you see it, you have to halfway construct the pony, and then put it under the machine and embroider it, and then finish sewing. So this part on my Luna and on my Celestia are both. That's an adventure to make because you got to get it all lined up on the seam so it looks right. So that's quite an adventure. And then the regalia is all made out of a black chiffon.
I noticed the cutie mark. Usually most cutie marks are all embroidered. This does not appear to be the case on Luna. You seem to have a...
Looks like the moon crescent is...
Yeah, it's on Minky. What was done was we embroidered the cutie mark on the Minky and then cut the Minky out to be the right shape for her and applied that onto the blue and put her little marks on there. And I wasn't sure what to do in the back because you don't really see the back of Luna very often.
Yeah. So
when I first had it on there, it just kind of looked like these little things on the side, and they looked quite right. So I went ahead and put it all the way around.
Just rounded it off a little bit. Yeah. You know, what is this in her tail and her mane both actually carry the sort of starry look that they have in the show. They have like little gems in them.
It's Swarovski crystals. I got the ones that kind of shimmer the different colors. I thought it would catch the light a little better.
Yeah.
I do know for show accuracy, it should probably have like a shimmer through the whole thing. But all the products out there that I could find really kind of just matted the Minky up and didn't make it look good. So that's probably about the only thing that's really not super show accurate on it. But I just couldn't find a product I was happy with to put on there.
I noticed you did a panel earlier here at Unicon.
The first one.
You put some samples of your work out showing all the different versions of Pinkie Pie that you did.
Yes, yeah.
Has that been the case with alicorn like this?
Yes, not for Luna. For my Celestia, I have 3 before my final one, and if you were at my house, the first one looks like the Rarities dress form. It's very skinny and tall, and all I need to do is put a stick through it and spread the legs out, and that's exactly what it would look like. The next one I made was all out of Minky, even the hoofs. It just looked not great. I mean, I'm sure it's awesome actually, but not great. So then we moved to a version like this. With Luna, I was lucky that we had gone through all that trial and error with Celestia. So I've only had to make 2 of her to get there.
So what inspired you to make plushes for the show?
Okay. I remember being asked this before. It's kind of a funny story. Not funny, it's kind of sad or silly, I guess. My girlfriend's daughter, Jordan, was a real fan of the show, and she wanted to make the OCs for her 3 girlfriends for Christmas, and this was in 2011. She had no idea how to sew, so I said, well, come on over, I'll teach you how to sew. Set up a table in my pool room and taught her how to make them, and we made this. They're just hilarious looking now, looking back on it. And then my son is a Brony fan, and he said, well, Mom, look at these, and we started looking at stuff on DA, and I thought, oh, we could make those. You want to make? Oh, he wanted them, and it kind of took off from there. Then I started to watch the show, and it's a really happy show. You get a lot of theta from it, a lot of and
It's true.
it is. It's just, even if it's villains and all this, it's goodness there. So I really enjoyed that. It also brought back a lot of memories from when my niece, when she was a little girl, used to watch the First Generation. So I kind of remember that, and my niece is grown now. She just had her second baby, and I made some plushes for her because I thought, this is just, I don't know, it's kind of
So,
sentimental.
which one did your son ask for?
He wanted Lyra.
Lyra. Really?
Interesting.
Lyra. And Lyra and Bonbon are actually the last ponies that I made before I started making the alicorns.
So the last.
So he had to really wait a long time. A long time with Lyra.
That's
Have you made Derpy?
Let's see. Yes, but no. I have all of the patterns and the embroidery stuff is all vectored and ready to go, and I have all the materials, but I didn't have time to actually construct it and do it justice. So that'll be the next one I make. It's sitting down on my cutting board waiting to be made.
I bet it would not last on your display.
Mere minutes.
No, I
likely.
know. It's been a struggle, and for whatever reason, people are super in love with rarity.
Really?
Oh, I can't keep rarity. No. The ones that are in my display currently are all have new homes and are only there for show.
Goodness.
And I do believe that would be the case for these your Alicorn princesses here, except that you have said that they are not for sale.
Yeah, these are not for sale because I'll take commission on them, but not for sale because they're the only ones I have, and you can't make another one unless you have it, because you'll not always remember quite how you did something without looking at it.
Right, without the reference here.
Right,
So this is
right.
sort of a living reference.
Yes, and
a
I think,
blueprint of how a plushie Luna would be made.
right, yes. And my son's told me I have to have a whole set at home at all times.
Of course.
Because
Absolutely.
this has to be there somewhere.
So this brony thing, I take it then that now you're sort of on board too as well. So
Oh,
so-
definitely.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's everybody here is so nice and accepting, and you can just walk up and talk to somebody you don't know, and they're pleasant. It's awesome, really.
it's a good place to be.
Yes, it is.
And not to mention it's in Vegas. And we're here in Vegas, which
Which is a place to have a lot
it's
of fun.
the party world headquarters, right?
That's
So
absolutely. Pinkie Pie is in
Pinkie
her
Pie would
element.
love this place, absolutely.
You know?
We've seen a few Pinkie Pies walking around today.
We
Yes,
have.
yes,
We have.
quite a few.
Yeah, I think they're having a great time. Yeah.
Now, embroidering, I know, is kind of like the final piece to really just bring out that show accuracy and make it refined. Did you start out embroidering on your plushes, or were there other steps in between? Finally, you broke down.
Oh, definitely, because in order to do this embroidery, it requires a machine that can do that. And so you have to decide, do you want to make that investment? They're not hundreds of dollars, they're thousands of dollars. So, and then the software to actually run the machine also is very expensive. So in the beginning, I actually cut them out of felt. And I thought they were just the thing. I loved them. I thought it was really cute. And then I was on DA and I saw some other very talented plushie artists out there, and they all machine embroidered. And I thought, I wasn't sure about that because of the investment. So then we found where you could actually print it onto fabric. So I did that for a couple plushes where I printed it and then hand appliqued it, and I left the eyelashes loose. I just loved that. But it didn't go over. So then we went ahead and just bought the machine, and then the software.
Goodness.
Learning that was an experience. I was trying to learn it, and my son, who is very computer savvy. He comes over and goes, "Oh no, Mom, do," presses a few buttons on the keyboard and did something with the mouse, and I'm totally lost. I'm like, what are you doing? So for anyone who's thinking about doing something like that, it's a real learning curve to do that. So be prepared.
Yeah. So leave it to the experts.
Yeah.
In this case, I will leave it to the experts. I discovered the secret of your wings here, which is that because they're just so posable and movable, and you can, they sit right where they are, and also the whole character sort of sits on her own.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
Stands on her
Not
own.
many plushes.
Not many plushes actually do that. I have a plush at home that was custom made, and
awesome.
it just sort of, the legs just sort of split on both sides. Like you can actually tell, like you can see it just kind of goes plop whenever you sit it down. So you have to sort of hold it up, with something. But this one, it's very rigid. It's very, it's got really solid construction right there, and it sort of feels like a foam, I guess. Is that?
It's actually stuffing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's actually, for stuffing them, there's actually an art in that in itself. And the young lady that I shared the booth with, she's with me. She actually does not all of my stuffing, but a lot of it. I stuff my alicorns, but getting it in there smooth without lumps and making it stiff so it'll stand is a whole art in itself. It's a crazy thing.
I can imagine it's almost like taxidermy.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. No.
Maybe as hard as that. But
I don't know. I just
It's
watch
kinda
more
peeling
videos
it
about
off
that than I
and
have
putting it
about
in.
plush making.
But,
Well, yeah.
I've seen that when I was younger. Neighbor who did that.
It
Very
is also
interesting.
a similarly sort of complex process.
But there is also I have wire in it, not in the body, but there is wire in the hair because obviously physics tells you that this isn't going to stand by itself
it's not gonna
as
wave like
fabric.
that.
And what's really awesome about it is that for anyone who were to get one or me or whatever, depending on how you want to display it, this you can put this way
Oh, you can part
or
it
this way.
differently.
Yeah, it's not fixed here. You can free to move it and pose it however you'd like.
It doesn't change automatically like it does in the show.
No.
So-
Nope.
So
Doesn't
if we
do
move
that.
her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it didn't happen. Darn, what was up with
it didn't
that?
happen automatically. But wow, it's still
Yeah, and you can move the wings so that they can be out like this if you wanted to.
all the eyelashes. I didn't even get to see the eyelashes.
Yeah.
It's facing the other.
So how long have you been making these plushes?
Yeah.
I didn't make my first blush until December 2011 when I started with Jordan. I actually make clothing. I love making reproduction
So
costumes
that's where your background.
and all that. I've sewn since I was a little girl, but that's what I make. I do weddings. I make wedding dresses and wedding party things. I've done quite a few of those, that kind of thing. So plushes were like, you want me to do what? I thought, that's going to be like working with velvet, and that's very expensive. I don't like to work with velvet. When someone wants velvet, it's going to be, we're going to talk. So
But the demand for these
it's very
is
high.
Very
Surprisingly very high. Wow.
Well, for the longest time, and I hear rumors all the time about, show accurate plushies are coming down the road, but yet we still, to this day, as far as I know, don't have any.
Well, actually,
in the U.S. at least.
coming out with some. I know they're coming out with some in Germany.
Right.
An article I believe I saw was posted somewhere where a new company in the U.S. is going to try and make some plushies. That
Some
are-
show-accurate
Some show-accurate plushies. They look very similar to the ones you can find in Walmart with the string hair.
The spaghetti
not good.
linguine hair. Yeah.
But it has real hair this time. So
That's
that might be interesting to see how those turn out. But these fan-made works like yours, those are really the crowning,
Creme de la creme.
the creme de la
of
creme.
the
Yeah.
plushie world here. It's still yet to be beaten
Right.
by the mass manufacturers. I'll tell you that.
Although it will be nice to have some that are made masks like that so that all of the kids can have
Right.
one.
That's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
been so unfair that they've had to endure these just really not good ponies. So if they can make some that are a little more creative, that would be awesome for them at a price point where everyone can have one. I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
That's true.
Everyone should be
That's
able to
true.
have a desire.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thanks for talking with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for stopping by.
Beautiful plushie.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
I can't wait to see what you do with Twilight.
Yes, yes, she will be very soon.
Well, now you'll have the spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Posable
soon.
wings.
Posable wings.
On the Twilight. Also another good color palette to work with.
Yes,
Right?
and her
Twilight
regalia is going to
rich.
be very interesting because it's filigree. So
Oh, we'll see what you'll have to do now is you'll have to make a Twilight that can turn into an alicorn.
And a Twilight with like removable wings, like
Removable
a
wings.
convertible Twilight. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah. That would
That would be
great.
all the rage.
It would be actually. And
take the wings on or not.
I mean, depending on whether you're feeling morally outraged, or whether you're feeling like leaving the fandom that day or not.
Yeah, there's
Just
very
take the
mixed
wings on and
emotions
off.
about that.
There really are. It's very heated.
Yes,
so,
it is.
Yeah. Well, so once again, Marie from Equestria Plush, thank you for joining us here on Ponyville Live.
Thank you for having me. It was very nice.
We are bored.
And I'm Silver Eagle.